This is the Volkswagen ID.4 rear-wheel drive small battery, basically the entry-level car. If you're finding this video after it has already gone live, if it's no longer live stream, take a look at Out of Spec Reviews, our sister channel, where we will have a fully edited version for you of this range test, so you don't have to sit through the multi-hour long process. Andy's in the chat, and yep, here we go again. 2 days in a row range testing. Just pressed for time, so this one should be okay and not super long. 209 mile EPA range here in the ID.4 rear wheel drive with the small battery pack. Gonna run it at 70 miles an hour. Huge change from the BZ4X, and we are doing 28 kilowatts at 95%. That's awesome. Took over 2 hours to get the BZ4X from 87 to 100 yesterday. So this is why ID.4 owners top charge all the time, because they just rip up top. They're so fast to fully charge. So hello and welcome. I'm not going to get you guys on the charging display because I plugged in here pretty high state of charge. I just did a 0 to 100% DC fast charging test, 52 minutes, something like that, 0 to full. Just a great charging curve on this car, really awesome. I'm kind of thinking this small battery might be the sweet spot in the ID.4. It's not that much cheaper than the big battery though. So yep, potato cam, this area is always going to, this location has terrible cell service, so there's not much we can do here. Yep, once we get on the road, hopefully it'll be okay, but we all know it's never that okay. So Roger, thanks so much. Appreciate that. Get a Red Bull or something. Yeah, I was thinking about it, but hey, I don't think this is going to take too long. Hopefully be done before midnight. This top charging is really great. Look at that, 96% already. Just a few minutes left, and we'll be on the road heading out on our test. Perfect conditions right now. No wind, absolutely beautiful weather, 70 degrees. Running at nighttime, no traffic, should be great. Really looking forward to this one. It's actually the first time we've ever range tested an ID.4 ever, which is crazy. Can I range test at without fast charging to 100%? Actually, the heat isn't that big of a deal. Maybe for Model 3 and Y, they use the motors to obviously heat up the battery pack. But if you arrive with a preconditioned battery, they shouldn't need to warm themselves up too much. Ain't no Faraday Future. That's right. I have not watched the Faraday Future announcement today. If you guys have, it seems pretty interesting. $309,000 I saw a screenshot of for that Faraday Future. I don't know much about it, but really interesting. Yeah, the best way to make the ID.4 feel like literally the best car on the planet is drive a BZ4X the day before. This thing, I'm like, wow, it's fast, it's a rocket ship, handles great, rides great. Like, who wouldn't buy an ID.4? That's just because I spent the whole week driving the BZ4X. What I really should do is just drive a Model Y as a reset between every car. But yep, almost there, 97% here. So I have to go to California tomorrow because the ID Buzz long wheelbase is happening in a couple days, and I'm going to film with it a little bit ahead of time type situation. And so I literally only had this car for 1 day. And so I just was like 10% challenge, charging test, range test, all in a day. And then tomorrow morning I'm out. So yeah. Yeah, Model 3 Performance will heat battery while supercharging, especially if you supercharge up top. You're right. I do see the packs get up to about 60 degrees Celsius. Use the afterburners on Model 3 and Y. Yep, you're totally right. Can't get more than 85 kilowatts. Well, I had this car show about 140 kilowatts today I got out of it. Something like that. 138, which on the small battery is good. Why doesn't the EPA do the Kyle cycle? Yeah, I don't actually know. That I would think you would want to run a repeatable test. The EPA, actually, you can choose what test you run in EPA. It makes no sense. When will I range test the i435e? Well, I don't even think BMW has any in the media fleet of the small battery, unfortunately. So we have to find a viewer with one. So that, and then it's like, if we have one, is a range test the you know, are they going to want that many miles on their car, that battery cycled? You know, with a media car like this, this car is literally meant so we can do our testing. And so I really don't care if I'm beating the crap out of the battery pack, because that's what it's here for. But for a viewer car, I'm like, you know, I don't know. So, all right, well, we're at 98%. I'm going to put you guys on the mount inside, and then we'll get ready to go. By the way, I had dinner over here at Chili's just before starting this test. I did not leave the ID.4 charging, obviously. And everyone pulled in at like under 10% state of charge. Everyone's just been pulling in dead, which is great. Real out-of-spec style road tripping going on here in Colorado. Software 3.1 on this particular one. It says less than 1 minute to full. So let me get you guys locked and loaded. Hopefully that will give you a stable motoring experience. Good view out the front, I hope. Better than B4X. I actually like the user experience. There's some little bugs here and there, but it's really not that big of a deal. All right, I'm going to film for the main video. 1 second. You join me now at 99% state of charge. Software 3.1 gives us the kilowatt rate right here in the infotainment system. So there we go, 17, 23, all kind of over the place as it figures out what it needs to do to get top charged. We are running about 70 degrees auto low here. We will put the vehicle in eco mode when we leave. I'll also reset all of our trips as we head out. And I do that by going here, and I just zero out each one of these things. So we'll do that. Regular headlights, great headlights on this particular car. All good. You know, I'm just an ID.4 fan. The car works. A lot of people, I think, you know, it bugs them. There's a lot of little things that they don't like about the ID.4. I mentioned it when we did the 10% challenge video, which went up earlier. But, you know, the more time I spend with these, it's just like, it's a car that doesn't really annoy me. The software really doesn't annoy me. And I think the upgrades for 24, if they put the better sound system in it, the juicier motor and those things, can really bring this into like, okay, yeah, like it's a real Model Y competitor. May not win on paper, but you don't drive cars on paper, you drive cars on the street, and it's a lot of intangibles. So we're very close to completing here. Very good top charging performance on this car. So we'll give it just another couple minutes. Once it completes at 100%, we'll load up, head out, and run the test. Alrighty. Faraday has no future. Is that, I haven't seen the thing today. Get this plugged in. Oh, we have completed at 100% state of charge. Let me turn climate control off. There we go. We are now complete at 100% state of charge. 210 miles predicted, again 209 EPA. Tire pressures are set to manufacturer rated. We are on the 20-inch wheels. You can get, I believe, 19-inch wheels in the standard car if you go for the non-S version here. But very good top charging performance. Pulling an ID.4 at the charging station. Every ID.4 owner, if you're watching this video, please stop leaving your cars at charging stations full. There's no incentive to move your car. You can honestly like park this thing at an airport charger and take it down in 3 weeks. You'll get $0. So really hope this not be that. But I have to say, very good session. All up and running here. Lots of throughput in the station. All good here. And we are ready to do the range testing next time we're at this station. We'll be at 0% state of charge. So let's head out and go. What we need to do here inside the car now is kick it on. All you do is just get in, the car's on, no silly start button or any antiquated thing like that. I am not going to be using the massaging seats as per testing procedures, sadly. But what we are going to do is put the car into eco mode. We are going to go to Clima, turn it on, 70% eco, low fan, all good. We're going to reset our trip computer right here. Since start, yes. Long term, reset, and of course it automatically does it since the last charge as well, which as soon as we pull away That will be reset really good. And we're good to go. Wow, look at this, 245 miles predicted in eco mode. We'll put it in B to get a little bit of off throttle regen, but holy smokes, that's crazy. Let's rock and roll now. Did our sense charge reset? No? What? But I can change that to, hold on. I gotta pull up that menu and we can go sense start. So now we have all of our good data. Let's do it. Heading out now and jumping onto the highway. Great turning radius in ID.4 rear wheel drive. Nice glass roof in this upscale model. Again, I think if you're gonna go rear wheel drive small battery, save the options cost and go for it on the entry level side. This thing's 45 grand. I think you can get a big battery base car for about 45 grand. That would be a better use of your money. Not that you necessarily need the range all the time, or really ever for some people, but I think for resale value and other things as well, sometimes it's nice just to have faster charging, more range, especially when it's only a few $1,000s more. So let's see how far this goes. We'll jump on the highway here in a moment. We got the live stream rocking on the motoring channel as usual. Couldn't ask for anything better than this. The camera. What is the temperature out? 70 degrees, perfect. There's something about just sitting in the ID.4 that works for me. I just love the ambient lighting, the steering wheel, seating position. Man, and it gets so trashed on. I almost feel bad for it. Like, certainly there's cars that I don't like out of like principle, but I can like back it up on paper. This is almost like the opposite. On paper, it's not that great, but there's something so intangible that I like so much about this car. It's always a good day when I can drive one. Here we are exiting now to jump onto the freeway. We just pulled out of the parking lot. We'll try and maintain pretty good pace around the on-ramp, and we'll get up to 70 miles an hour as soon as we can and just maintain that. I'll update you throughout the drive as we get up into Wyoming, of course, and perhaps even Nebraska, depending on how the efficiency is looking, and weather, of course. Need to kind of drive around a little bit of wind as we get closer to the east, so I might end up looping closer here in Colorado. Once we get up to 70 miles an hour, the speedo is dead on accurate. I will lock on Volkswagen Travel Assist and we will be good to go. So there we go, on at 70. Very good. Noticing a little bit of traffic here, but I think we can squeeze our way through at 70 for as much of it as possible, at least. Skirt. Andy, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. All right, we're going just under 70. Subaru, hit the throttle. This section always kind of freaks me out because there's just so many cars and it's only 2 lanes wide. But once we get just out of here, we'll be able to maintain. I mean, we're doing 69. Now we're doing 70. Great. But we're gaining on them a little bit. Go faster! What are you doing? What is going on? Holy smokes! There we go. Someone moved over. Let's get this thing up to speed. No time for delay, and there we are, rocking back to where we need to be. As long as they do 71 and we do 70, we're good. Automatic lane change. Did not initiate. I think that's probably the weakest part of this system is lane changes is a little bit temperamental. Man, way more traffic today than yesterday with the BZ4X. Limit is 65 through here. That just means 90. Lights. What are we braking for? I did not take the BZ4X through the hogback. The hogbacks are our least performing videos, so I only do them when I have time, which I haven't had time to do. We are kind of struggling to get going here. We were doing 70, but now everyone's braking for this police officer. So let's all slam on the brakes. And gently work our way back up. Out of our way, appreciate that. Back to 70, very good. What system do I feel most comfortable through the hogback? Honestly, the Mercedes system was really good. The most comfortable though? I don't know, it would have to be one of those systems that locks in, because then it'll scream at you if it can't do something. And so that's really Rivian or Tesla, and I think Tesla probably is far superior than Rivian at this moment. Although I just always worry about phantom braking whenever I use autopilot, especially my Model S. That thing slams on the brakes like nothing. Like, it's just a hint of anything and it's full ABS. Nice trailer on the right, triple axle. I have not driven much with FSD beta recently. Honestly, I really hate to be that guy, but like, it's so sensitive to where you look that if I look away for a half a second, it starts yelling at me, so I just never use it. Ah, cool old bus. Thank you for getting out of our way. People are really going slow today. But we're good. We're back up to where we need to be. Yeah, I'm going to take my Rivian on a trip next week, but I won't really be able to use Driver Plus because I will be towing the Leaf out to California and then the Coda back to Colorado. But I think if I lock it in all purpose, it'll let me do Driver Plus, maybe? I don't know. If you guys look on my Twitter today, you'll see one of those boom pole trucks was driving in this construction zone on the left, and he forgot that he had his pole extended, and it freaking snagged the truck and lifted the whole thing into the air. And it was crazy. The dude was just sitting in the truck. We were there like 2 seconds after it happened. The brake light situation, I haven't watched that video from Technology Connections yet, but I plan to. I also do monitor like brake light usage in every electric car. So it's definitely something that I want to sort of, you know, make a video with him about. He's a viewer. I watch his stuff. Really great guy, and so yeah, maybe there's something we can do together on that. Since we have, you know, we test a lot of different cars, maybe we should see what they all do. Model 3 LFP range test. Actually, not me, but my colleague Ryan is running the 10% challenge in his Model 3 LFP tomorrow. So when you see his video on Out of Spec Reviews, watch it, give it a like, give him a lot of supportive comments. Ryan is, you know, working on his presentation skills and wants to get more into testing. He's a super nerd like us. So he'll be posting that video solo, and then I believe also a range test on the next good weather day. Yeah, I wanted to run it. I just haven't had the time. I'm actually going, yeah, California this week, and then Italy this weekend, and then I'm back on Tuesday, and then we're straight to California for a week. So it's like just, yeah, I was like, Ryan can just do that test, and I think it'll be great. He knows what to do. We got some police activity ahead. What is going on up here? 1,600-mile trip with the IX. Great. That is one hell of a nice road tripper. Why didn't that guy move over for the police? That's weird. Wow, 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour so far. That's pretty good. Yep, Ryan is great. I really like Ryan. He runs Rate Your Charge for the most part. So he's doing all data collection. He's doing some really cool stuff collecting data from our existing tests. So he's building out a website. Like, we don't really use our website right now, but Ryan's building it out so that you can go there and basically look at all of our tests. We're compiling data from it, you know, sort of referencing range versus charging time. So we take our range test, our charging tests, and give the car, you know, an overall score, if you will. So yeah, all good. Seems high. Well, I think 70 miles an hour, 3.1 at the start of these tests where we gain some elevation is very reasonable. The ID stuff has never been magically efficient. But it hasn't been inefficient either. Sending it. Is this guy gonna move over or speed up or what? On this stretch, we will have some broken cell coverage, just so you guys know. Do I ever go to the Rollins and Evanston charger? I've only been to them once. Well, the Tesla ones I've been to, but the EA ones, once each. I I know, now we can drive CCS across Wyoming. It's freaking incredible. Nice. Lucid is a pretty good road tripper. Yeah, I like the ID.4. Any thoughts on the upcoming Model 2? Well, we don't know anything about it, so hard to have thoughts at this moment. Once there's more info, certainly. We'll probably lose cell coverage here for about 2 or 3 minutes. I just did that stretch at Lucid. It was no problem doing that 212 miles. Seats are great. No issues with the seats in this car. I agree, Lucid is priced for what the end user will honestly use the car for too high, but they can just buy a used one. Will Lucid beat the Taycan record at the 10% challenge? I don't know. I'm picking up a set of arrows for Anna's Taycan so we can run that car like maxed out, and then we'll run it probably at the same time or same day as the Lucid. Would be pretty interesting. Yeah, R2S could be really cool. Very much curious to see the direction Rivian will take their future vehicles. Yeah, use GT Performance, totally the way to go. You know, I haven't had a chance to do any testing with the Lucid because we've had a few test cars, but yeah. Ideal public charging infrastructure. That could make an interesting YouTube video. Maybe I'll make that into a video. Have you heard anything about the software division for Volkswagen North America? Yeah-ish, but nothing, I don't think we'll see the fruits of that for some time. The Ioniq 5N, oh, tell me about it. I am so excited. That's actually probably the car I'm most excited to drive. Oh, can't believe we didn't lose cell service through there. That's crazy. The Ioniq 5N is just like regular Ioniq 5, but just turned up to like 14. Test going this far? Well, we're at 90% state of charge right now. We've done 19 miles. So, I mean, I would be surprised if this thing does 200 miles. It's only EPA rated at 209. This is, again, the small battery ID.4. ID.4 versus BZ4X, which would I personally choose? The ID.4. All day, every day, without question. I would take a rear-wheel drive small battery ID.4 over the biggest, baddest BZ4X. When I road trip, I pretty much just use Electrify America or EVgo. That's pretty much, you know, they have the cohesive network of chargers, so it's easy to find the next one. That's pretty much what I do, at least. Unless regionally there's some other options, but they're just not there yet. I've never actually range tested a big battery ID.4. I really need to. Equinox EV or ID.4? Yeah, well, Equinox EV doesn't exist yet, so haven't been able to test it or do anything with it. Yeah, the BZ4X makes the ID.4 look like a McLaren. The stereo kind of sucks in this car. It's fine at low to medium volume, but if you crank it, it's really not good. But I've heard rumors that the next year, the 2024, we'll get the Harman Kardon upgrade, which I'm looking forward to hearing. Yeah, the ID.4 was an incredible value until now the Model Y got a lot cheaper. Back. Sorry. Holy smokes. That was probably the biggest dropout we've had in a while. Starlink, yeah, I was actually just thinking about that. So I have the mobile RV Starlink. I use that when we go camping. You know, I put it on the Sprinter, and I'll probably have that hard mounted to the Rivian. The problem is, like, if the car doesn't have a glass roof, I don't know how it would work. And then, you know, I'd have to mount it outside, which would kill visibility. So I think the real answer is mount it to the roof of the Polestar 1 and just have that follow along and then just live stream off of a support vehicle. out of spec range test is going to be like a 7 vehicle, 14 person production. You'll never see that from us. Everything from us has got to be kept pretty low key. Polestar 1 update in process. Just give me a couple more days. Allegedly, if you keep it between you, me, and the floorboards, we are not planning to give it back to Polestar. But there's just some like back-end paperwork things about them selling it to a dealer and making it a fair value and all that stuff that we got to sort out. ID.4 versus Ioniq 5? Interesting. Ioniq 5 probably is the better overall car. I do not own the Polestar 1 yet. It's not definite. It's very possible it won't get through. There's still some stuff, but basically Polestar is like, yep, we'll let you buy it if, but then we got to work some stuff out. So I'm like 95% sure. We'll keep it. And then I was thinking about selling the Model S. But that's not really worth anything. I paid $150,000 for my Model S. I think if I were to sell it now, I'd sell it for maybe 70. Just got hammered on that one. Everything else I'm okay on. Like I'm not really upside down, or I should say like I'm not like, what I paid for it is about what they're worth for most of the other stuff. But wow, that Model S that one's sticking around. Yeah, the Polestar 1's really the first like real big boy car that I'm getting, not necessarily for content. That's like a personal, like really cool thing to have. Everything else is mostly for content. The only things that aren't would be the Land Rovers. You're totally right. Although I think the old Range Rover, or I should say the one I just recently got for like 12 grand, I think that one actually is a good buy. And I just dropped it off for service to have them go through everything today. But I think we're actually going to do a thing on the Out of Spec Overlanding channel as that being the support truck for some Rivian stuff we're planning on. But of course, a Land Rover being a support truck is never a smart idea because they end up requiring more support than the support that they give. Yeah, I don't know. I was like going through the list of problems on the Range Rover, and I'm like, this is going on and on and on. And then the guy was like, oh yeah, that seems pretty normal. I'm like, that's what you get at a British car workshop. We were just here last night, absolutely. Yeah, I need to actually film more with the Model S. I gotta offset that depreciation. Problem is the car's just broken half the time. Leasing an ID.4 for 3 years. I would just get another one with all the updates next year. What is there left to do with the Model S? There's actually quite a bit left to do with the Model S, like actually nerd stuff, diving into like 3-motor, you know, like drivetrain tuning and things like this. So, yeah, there's a lot. It's mostly just a time thing. Yeah, the new i4 40 xDrive, that's the sweet spot in the i4 lineup that was missing. Because you used to have to spend silly money to get an M50, and that's only really for BMW enthusiasts. And I can appreciate that car, but it's hard to recommend it. The xDrive 40 now makes more sense. The window switches in the ID.4 are an actual inconvenience at the worst times. When you have time to like hold the rear button down, you can control all 4 from just the driver's window, and that's fine. But if you're like in a hurry to roll down the windows, it gets annoying. Uh-oh, lane assist not available. Travel assist not available. Uh-oh, why are you freaking out? Front assist has limited availability. Aerodynamic roadside display. What? This whole car just poop itself? Travel assist not available. Oh, and now we're back on and we're good. Maybe there was just a bug blocking a sensor. We're good. Back on lane. Yeah, I think there must have been a bug or something that was blocking a sensor. Alyssa thinks 192 miles. She's usually pretty accurate. Battery temperature now. Good question. Let's take a look. Battery temperature is 29.63 minimum and 30.5 max. So wow, very, very balanced battery pack temperature. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. 29.6 min, 30.5 max. Volkswagen has really figured out how to control the gradient temperature in the battery packs on their cars. Yeah, I've seen on my Model 3 those side camera warnings pop up as well. And I'm like, if it can't see like now when there's nothing blinding it, how's this thing going to drive itself? The Cannonball route, there's really 2 routes you can choose from. The northern or the southern. But there's really no way to game it. What manufacturer do I hope implements the Tesla connector next? Rivian. I really hope Rivian does it, selfishly. Or Volvo Polestar, I think, is likely to go. Oh, not very scenic. The routes kind of suck. Yeah, once there's a few that switch to Tesla connector, then it's over. Yeah, and honestly, once there's an adapter, then it really doesn't even matter what the car has on it. You can go Tesla to CCS and CCS to Tesla. Then you just buy whatever car and plug it into whatever, and you just keep the adapters on hand. And yeah, it's a little bit messy, but it's fine. Yeah, I think the Germans will be last to adopt the Tesla plug because they're so entrenched with CCS. But as soon as a German automaker does switch, that is like game over for sure. There's no more CCS. Yeah, I think that if the old CEO of Volkswagen Group, I'm forgetting his name, I actually met him too, nice guy, they would have had a better chance of switching. You joined me about 25% of the way through this drive. We're just about to cross into Wyoming. Again, we're starting a little bit farther back than where we typically do. And we've gone 42 miles so far at 75%, but keep in mind, quite a bit of elevation gain on the first bit of this drive. That's why we run a loop so we can head back. Welcome to Wyoming. And we are now in the great state of Wyoming. Time to keep motoring along. Herbert Diess. Yeah, so I had a lengthy conversation with Herbert Diess in Germany a couple of years ago, maybe a year and a half ago. Yeah, probably 2 years ago. And it was related to charging performance. And it was basically like, hey, like you took a road trip at Ionity and an ID.4, and we talked about his road trip. And then, you know, I told him a little bit about our experiences in the US. And he's just like, yeah, this has to be like the #1 focus. And I'm like, I know. Meanwhile, now he's gone. Oliver Bloom is in. They're talking about e-fuels and all this stuff, which I'm not against e-fuels, but, you know, it just doesn't seem to be a big part of the conversation. To be honest, I really don't care if it replaces CCS or not. What I want ultimately is for people to have an easy way to understand how to charge wherever they go. And right now, the Tesla plug does that. Yeah, CCS 2 I prefer over CCS 1. The problem is you can't buy Tesla connectors right now on the market. They're all in development. So Tesla won't sell you the cables. Charging companies, hardware manufacturers, they all want to put Tesla plugs on their stuff. It's just the cables are really hard to get. Once the cables are out, then you're going to start to see public infrastructure with Tesla plugs. It's just like a manufacturing delay. But the public infrastructure reliability won't be impacted at all by this, because a cable change isn't going to make it inherently more reliable. And again, it's using mostly CCS communication protocols anyway. So handshake times are still going to be relatively long. Like, it's not going to be the Tesla experience just by putting that cable on. But it is easier to handle, easier to engage. Yeah, EA's problem mostly is back end. I mean, honestly, for me recently, I haven't had any major problems with Electrify America in my own personal driving. I also haven't road tripped that much recently, but just using local stations around my home and out in California, it's been very good. And I don't think I share that message enough. Is Magic Dock dead? I don't know. We'll have to see. Tesla, I think, should... I don't really know. There's multiple ways they could go. And my opinion, of course, won't sway anything. But I did have lunch with the head of Tesla Supercharging, or at least a long conversation. And it was really great. Really great. Signet surge is still a problem, is my understanding, last I heard. Why do I think 4680 has worse performance? I don't know, and I also haven't studied the 4680 performance yet. As soon as my mom gets her Model Y, I'm probably gonna do some testing out there with her car, or have my dad do it. So yeah, I gotta get Scan My Tesla sent out to her so we can monitor everything. Because, you know, 4680 was promised to be like the next level tech. It just seems kind of meh. I think we got a cop sitting in the median right up here. We're going under the speed limit, but that is a... Oh yeah, he just shut his lights off. What a sneaky hiding spot. Oh, that is nasty. There he is, backed right into that corner on the left. Dang. See, that I'm not a fan of. Like, if you want us to slow down, make your presence known. Street speed traps should be illegal. Totally agree. Totally agree. Yeah, I don't have Waze open right now, but I should keep it going. Let's see if we can see the flag over here. It's a little bit too dark to tell wind direction. Feels pretty still to me from the driver's seat. Yeah, in Germany, you'll see like a 3 Series wagon or something random with cops in it. Unmarked. Yeah, perfect night for some testing, absolutely. No, I mean, I might be done with the VinFast personally. Like, I have no interest in that car, but I still need to test it for you guys. The big question is going to be, can I get one to test? I don't think VinFast is going to want us to do all the testing. Cars with particularly annoying turn signal sound. Yes, I just can't think about what they are offhand. I think Fords drive me nuts. Alright, let's hustle it through the off-ramp pretty quickly. We're not slowing down. We're going full send. Race car lifestyle. Clip the apex right on the inside. Slowly track out. Use every bit of the roadway. Volkswagen paid road tax this year for this car. We can use every inch. Yeah, there was just a cop, so the likelihood of there being yeah, the roads here kind of suck. Yeah, this has been like this for like 2 years. What classic gas car would I convert first to electric? Probably an old Defender. Yeah, the Michigan police cars are hilarious with that giant ass red light on the roof. Like, what are they thinking? Yeah, Illinois sucks to drive through. That's probably my least favorite state to drive through. Do I think cop cars will eventually be electric? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, Ohio also sucks to drive through. It's like that whole middle northern bit of the country is just like, want to avoid that at all costs. And unfortunately, that's like where we have to cannonball through. And it's always like 2-lane roads. You can't go fast because there's so many trucks. Brutal. What's the best state to drive in? Honestly, like the road, like in terms of enjoyable driving, I think California has some of the best driving roads up the entire mountain range. Really love that. And like if you're in the cities, you can just kind of drive like your hair is on fire and no one even looks twice. So like I get into LA and I'm just like race car mode, engaged. And no one seems to care, which is great. Like I just rented a Polestar 2 in LA and was just driving like a complete ass and just blended in with everyone. The best state to drive in is panic. That's great. Yeah, if you're not driving crazy in LA, you are going to get run over. But I really enjoy it. I mean, I grew up just outside of New York, so going in and out of the city and around there, like, that's just like angry driving. To me, LA is like, you find other car enthusiasts and you're just like ripping and you're like, oh yeah, 130 through traffic. Like, great. That's just like normal. Yeah, California has some of the best driving roads I've ever been on in my life. Problem is they have really bad gas there. 91 octane only, which for electric isn't a big deal, but right, a scenic route in LA is better than the confines of a construction zone in Illinois. Yeah, Atlanta you can mob through as well. You can really cover some distance, like just on the either before rush hour or just on the tail end of rush hour when everyone's kind of still somewhat in the mode to get where they need to go, but traffic is empty. Like that 8 a.m. or I should say like 7:30 a.m. Atlanta scene, you can cover some distance. I do ride motorcycles, yeah. I don't have a motorcycle, but I've been wanting to get one. I have been to all 50 states, yes. And maybe all 50 states twice. I think Hawaii and Alaska I've only been to once each. But I think every other state I've been to twice. Yeah, Cross Island sucks. I mean, I used to have a little John Cooper Works GP, and I'd rip the Cross Island, but you're like working with 2 inches between you and other cars, and potholes are brutal, and rapid slowdowns. And then you see those videos of these crazy people just mobbing through New York, like crashing into like just total disregard for safety. Like, I'm all for driving fast, but safe. Like, some people are crazy. We currently don't sell the out-of-spec stickers, but we're actually, after yesterday's live stream conversation, I put someone on the merch topic, and I think we're going to use AI-generated merch for everything. Yeah, Cross Bronx really sucks. Yep, LIE, always heavily patrolled. Converting an ICE vehicle into electric? Absolutely, at some point. I'm not sure when or what. What would be cool to convert? I mean, we could find like a... The problem is, I wouldn't want to convert like an old rust bucket of something. So it would have to be like the nicest Defender, but then it's just like keep it stock. And everyone's doing these old classic 911s right now, which is just not my thing to convert. Top speed of this car is 99 miles an hour, allegedly. Mitsubishi Lancer Rally, yeah, that people, maybe an electric rally car could be neat. Find like an old, yeah, Lancer or Subaru with a blown motor. On the electric Dodge, what? You mean the sports car, I think? What are they calling that? Your ID.4 does 101. Maybe I should have stayed in it longer. Yeah, the Daytona. Not many thoughts about that. Interesting car suggestions for converting. Yeah. I think actually a great name for a YouTube channel would be Badge Engineering. I don't know if it exists. I might reserve that. And just do like, you know, weird car content that I am into that no one else would watch. Yeah. But yeah, Autobahn, East Germany, rip it. Too much construction in West Germany. I'm returned. Yes, I'm back. Horn test. Wimpy horn. Not into that. Yeah, it is not an effective horn, that's right. That's like, excuse me, turtle, can you move out of the road? Right, A30 from Netherlands entering into Germany. Yeah, that's where most of the Autotop NL guys shoot their stuff. They do all the top speed POV driving. Oh, congrats on your Model Y performance. That's awesome. Do I ever listen to podcasts on long trips? Not really. I'd like to say I listen to stuff, but I honestly sit in silence most of the time. Or I'm on phone calls. It's like I use road trips as a way to catch up with people, with, you know, a whole bunch of stuff. How inefficient a convertible could be, EV could be. Huh, well that could actually be an interesting test with our smart car, because I have an electric convertible. Maybe we should run it with the roof up and the roof down. I don't actually know what the numbers would be on that. Yeah, never spoken to the Autotop NL guys, but would love to do something with them. I'm a huge viewer. I watch every video they do. Every Autobahn top speed video, I'm just like, yep, that's got me written all over it. And I have a lot of Dutch friends, so we're in the Netherlands from time to time. Yeah, the Polestar Roadster should be coming in a couple of years. Yeah, German drivers are competent, but occasionally you see not so competent German drivers as well. Or you get the like cynical ones that hate speed and they like purposefully pull out in front of you on the Autobahn. You're like full brakes and they're just like camping in the left lane. I find that like people in Germany in general are fairly angry. And I kind of worry about like their culture, their business model. You know, I spent quite a bit of time there. I know a lot of people there, and I'm just like, wow, good luck. Can you see a lot of stars out here? No, it's actually looking pretty cloudy. No rain or wind, but definitely some cloud cover here. Yeah, Dutch drivers having lane discipline, well, they're always towing their freaking trailers everywhere, so they gotta stay on the right. That's right. We give everyone licenses. Yeah, even the German language is perceived as angry, yes. You should just change your username to Andy the Angry German. What's funny is I actually have quite a few German friends who live here in Colorado, hanging out with, and he has a BMW X5 plug-in hybrid, and he's so funny. He will plug in his BMW X5 literally everywhere. Like, he drives 1 mile down the street and like plugs it in, and then just full charges it over and over. I don't think that car has ever had the combustion engine turn on. I was just like, Nick, why don't you get an iX? And he's like, well, I should have. But he's that guy hogging every level 2 station. B is for build and how they're taking apart a Tesla. I've heard of the channel, but I haven't seen what they're doing. How do I keep all my EVs charged at home? Actually, it's a good question. I try and keep all the cars between 30 and 50% state of charge. And so actually, I'm very rarely charging a car at home. So yeah, I mean, a lot of it is just, I'll top one up to 70, 50, 60, 70%, drive it for a couple days, and then, yeah, I only have one plug at the moment at the house. Thanks, Graham. Really appreciate that. Where do you get the energy? Starbucks. Will I be back to the Nürburgring at all this season? Absolutely. I don't know when or what. Actually, we hired someone to do this series this summer, which we haven't started the videos yet, but she's over in Germany now, and she's going to start filming automotive architecture. Actually, one of my really longtime friends and one of the best designers in the industry, really a great designer, and she wanted to do a summer project with us. And I was like, yeah, well, go and, review automotive stuff from an architectural standpoint, charging stations from an ADA compliance standpoint, buildings, things like that. So she is over in Germany now, and I'll be in Italy with her next week, filming some stuff. So you'll see Hannah on the channel soon. Yeah, I've done videos with Misha at the ring. We've done, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 videos, something like that. Yeah, every time I'm at the ring, we hang out with Misha. He's great. Where did I put my camera? We're going to flip around at the next live stream, but let's make a U-turn here and blast back up the other way. I am noticing maybe slightly a little bit more wind as we go this way, so I think we'll play it safe, turn around here, we'll burn up the extra closer back to the charging station where we started. But there we go, we'll just flip around right over here. ID.2 GT3 RS, no plans. I don't think there's very many press cars. We don't really have the audience for it. I have been in it and it was awesome. Am I surprised no other automakers have made NACS announcements? No. Big companies take a really long time to do these things. The Ford announcement was a shock to the industry, and we'll see the response, but it's going to take 2 to 6 months. Yeah, the ID.4 is really a great road tripper. Model 3, of course. I like the ID.4. Dang, who paved this road? Yes, next year I believe, nothing's confirmed, but next year I think ID.4 will get a refresh. EQS flopping and having to be discounted. Yeah, I think Mercedes doesn't understand how to position their electric cars. They really missed the boat on the marketing side. They really missed the boat on positioning the car well for its market. They took a very German approach. They are relying too heavily on brand loyalty. The car is truly great, but they didn't communicate that properly. So I've played around with the next-gen software in the ID.7 when I reviewed it, and I'm pretty sure that's the same system that everything's going to get going forwards, and it was great. It was so snappy. Yeah, subscription-based stuff. Yeah, pretty weird. Ioniq 5N, very excited, yes. Do I think they'll upgrade the software? I think it's a new screen and everything. At least the ID.7 that I was in was like all updated. I have not done any range tests on that era of Model S recently. Why do we need subscription in cars? Well, we don't. Automakers just want to find a way to keep recurring income coming in. Once you own the car, I mean, like, it's yours. I would just software unlock everything. Someone's going to hack that thing. Software updates on 2023 ID.4 to match the new one? I don't think so. It's possible, but I'd be surprised. Nice, 2 range tests in a row. Range tests, I think, are the dumbest things ever, but whatever, we gotta do them. Do I believe in the Apple car? I do. ID I'd recommend over a Model 3. I mean, it just depends on what you're doing with it. Hello from Germany. Very cool. Currently choosing my new company car. Always good. So I would say you're leaning towards the Volvo. I would say Model Y for Germany has the highest top speed and fastest charging. Volvos only do 200 kilometers per hour, 180. I think 180. It's pretty frustrating. Yeah, 10% challenge by far the best test that we're doing, no question. Hard to say, can't predict what Apple's gonna do. I have no clue. Yeah, I think WWDC's next week, right? I just got an email about that. It's coming up. Hopefully we get some announcements. $90-mile-an-hour range test. I mean, we could do Autobahn range test and just max out cars. The 10% challenge run at 80 constant, I think, is pretty reasonable. The Sony car, the Alfalfa, the Alpharetta, the, what do they call that thing? The Sony Ophelia. How do you have the conversation with family members about not charging to 100% every day? This is what I tell them. I say, don't charge to 100% every day. And that's about it. And they don't. My mom charges her car to 90% only because my grandfather's out a little bit of a ways away and she wants to make sure on a moment's notice she can pop out. But yeah, my dad keeps his Model 3 pretty low. Yeah, we've done quite a few Autobahn top speed videos. Yeah, a lot of people don't really understand what's good for batteries. One thing I thought was interesting was I was talking to some of the Polestar guys about our Polestar 1, and I'm like, you know, we're going to kind of have this thing for a while if we buy it, and like, what should we do to like take care of it? And they're like, don't charge it more than 25% state of charge for long-term storage. I'm like, wow, that low? And they're like, yeah, there's huge buffers. So 25% for storage. I'm like, wow. And you can't set a charge limit in that car. We're back. Good. Yeah, for some reason my hotspot shut off. I don't know what was up with that. Normally it just loses service. Nice and no wind right now, very still. Yeah, motorcycle content doesn't really do well for us, but probably some. Yeah, everyone's saying put a Starlink on the car, but it just wouldn't work for every car. So, but I agree, we need to come up with some kind of solution. The most efficient car that I've driven, well, the most efficient combustion car for sure that I've ever driven was a Volkswagen XL1, and I did a whole deep dive video with some of the engineers on that car on this channel. That was a really special one. And the most efficient electric car, probably Model 3 LFP, I would think. I know like original Ioniq is more efficient, but I'm not sure I've ever driven one. Have you ever wanted to build a Baja buggy type car? No, I don't think so. What needs to change in EV charging for us to make another cannonball attempt? Signet surge has to go away. Yeah, Model 3 LFP rocks. No one really watched our used EV challenge, which is why I kind of didn't buy a car for Max to showcase there. We're also still just trying to get him to get Guide off the ground. And yeah, perhaps that'll be another topic towards the end of this year. Yeah, I actually haven't watched many of the Guide channel videos recently, but we're going to start doing a little bit more collaborations, the whole team, maybe a little bit of intermingling across all the channels type thing. Yep, make it a little bit more cohesive going forwards. Buying that car I found in California, yep, I did, and I pick it up next week. The Coda. Oh, I can't drive it home. It only level 2 charges, so we are gonna tow it behind the Rivian. I'm going to tow the Leaf out and then tow the Coda back. you can see most of my thoughts on the Ford switching to Tesla thing on the Out of Spec podcast channel. I mean, it's all, not worth really rehashing all of it. Nope, not selling the Leaf at all. Just my friends Patrick and Liv from Mach-E Vlog needed an extra car, so I was like, just borrow the Leaf, and there's a shop out there who's going to replace the level 2 onboard charger. And so, yep, it's just an early pack, some degradation. They just needed like an extra around town car. There was a company that's going to fix my charger. I was just like, okay, well, let's just bring it out there. I got to bring the trailer out anyway to get the Coda back. So kind of all worked out. Why not replace it with the big battery? Actually, the plan is to upgrade it with the big battery at some point. It's just really expensive for a car I don't drive. So, and it's like not a car I want to drive. Like it smells bad in there. It's like not a great car to be in. Yep, the LS400's doing great. It's in storage. Hello from the Netherlands. Hello from Wyoming. I feel like these cones got even closer in since last night. Yeah, Colton really is like a new car detailer type thing. He can take like a pretty good looking car and make it perfect, but he's not really into the disaster detail department. He doesn't really like to get down and dirty. Yeah, I think the ID software is fine. I have no major problems with it. For not answering your questions. I'm just trying not to crash into all these cones. Ripping it. ID.4 always handles very balanced. Once you have software 3.1, over-the-air updates are available on this car. That's right. All very good merch ideas. Yeah, Mexico's lovely this time of year. Yeah, existing automakers do not get software at all. Like, totally. I mean, the thing is, like, the vehicle architectures just aren't there to support, the constant updatability that I say customers demand. problem? I don't think so. Is that cop still here sitting in the median from before? I don't see him. Maybe he left. Or maybe he's at the next one. But nope, I think they just are building one configuration, and a lot of people want the big battery packs. So I think they just need to start building the other configurations that are back ordered. Because right now they're just building the middle spec. And I would say most people, I don't know the numbers, either ordered the big battery or the small battery. Yeah, he is just sitting in the median still. Look at that nasty spot. Yeah, not sure of the voltage of the max pack. Dual motor R1T, I really hope soon. Opinions on window tint? Needed, up here at least where I live. Volkswagen's lane assist is much better than Volvo's. Yes, I will be at the Formula E race in Portland. Absolutely, I will be there. I'm not really like a Formula E guy, but yep, we are going to go. Yeah, Volvo tries to take every off-ramp, that's true. This travel assist in the ID.4 rocks. This is a great system. Manual transmission in 4th gen Tacoma, hell yeah. I'm so about that. That is cool. The new Tacoma, what did they call the new Trail Hunter, Trail Track Finder, whatever the crazy off-roady one is with the cool seats? That thing looks mega. Trail Hunter, that's right. Thing looks so good. One of the few YouTube channels that I watch regularly is a channel called Expedition Overland. And Clay did a great walk around with the new Trail Hunter from an overlander's perspective. That's correct. Adaptive driving beam is not legal yet. Yeah, if there's a little meetup, I'd be happy to join. Would I drive a manual transmission battery electric? Probably not. I'm not sure what the benefit would be. It's not like electric motors have the same torque profile as a combustion engine, nor does it have the same limitations, and nor do you get the same sound, and I don't know. I'd be open to it, but I think it would be actually kind of hard to drive smoothly, especially with very little noise and inertia coming from the electric motor. You know, like it'd spin up so quick that it would almost be hard to heel toe downshift, and the revs would drop too fast if you let off. I don't know. Yeah, Tacoma's so important to Toyota that has to be perfect. ID.4 brake feel is terrible. No, you're absolutely right. Not a good brake pedal in this car. It's only good if you do an emergency stop. Then it builds pressure really nice. But otherwise, it's this like long, weird brake pedal. Totally agree. ID.4 does not have one pedal drive. It has regen off throttle, but it always defaults to creep. Yeah, turning radius is great. Ah, cool. Yeah, I'm glad you installed the play pause buttons. I like those. Ioniq 5 is great brake pedal. Absolutely. Any plans for the Sprinter this year? I think we're just going to kind of keep it and use it. Took it camping a couple nights ago. We went up towards Keystone. It was beautiful. All of our friends were car camping. I cranked on that diesel heater. It was 31 degrees outside and slept like a baby. This guy is mobbing with the U-Haul. Have I ever damaged any press cars? Unfortunately, yes, very rarely. Obviously, we try and take as much precaution as possible. We were actually crashed into, we had a hit and run in a Jeep Grand Wagoneer. This was last winter. We were reviewing it, someone smashed into the side of us and then drove away. But they had like ripped the wheel off our car and we were just like stuck on the side of the highway. And I curbed a wheel on a Polestar really bad once. So I think that's like, knock on wood, kind of the worst of it. What do they do with the press cars after? I think it just depends on each one. Like the Polestar got a new wheel and it stayed in the press fleet. The Jeep never came back to the press fleet. It was just so new they couldn't get parts for it. So I think they shipped a different vehicle out here, and that one eventually was fixed and sold at auction. ID.4 and XC40 Recharge, which would I prefer? Oof, that's a good one. The size of the ID.4 is so much more practical than the XC40 Recharge, but the Volvo like driving dynamics and power is really kind of nice as well. Honestly, for me personally, I'd probably go ID.4 if it's for me. I like the charging curve of ID.4. I like the size, the comfort. But if I like lived up a mountain and had to like rip home every day, I'd have an XC40. Top speed I've driven, I don't know, close to 200. Right, so we're kind of like in the process of a adaptive driving being for the US, and the regulations are looking to be different than the Euro regulations, which is annoying. And I was just talking to the Audi engineers about this on the Q8 launch, and they're like, why can't we just copy what Europe does? But nope, they want to write a whole new set of laws for us. Ioniq 5N next month, still on your radar? I have not heard from Hyundai about that car. I don't know if we'll be invited to drive it early, but as soon as a media vehicle comes to Colorado, we will definitely be there. I mean, Hyundai usually invites us to all the new stuff. We did Ioniq 6 and Ioniq 5 first drive, so I would think we would be able to go, but we'll see. One thing I realized today, I was kind of a dumbass for missing this. Kia invited us to drive the EV6 GT on the first drive at a track in Las Vegas, and I totally missed the email invite until today when I was looking up something for EV9 that's EV6 GT on the track, and I'm like, oh crap, damn, why didn't we get invited to do that? We did. So sometimes I am my own worst enemy. Some automakers really are with the YouTube thing and others are not. But a lot of it is just for those who aren't, yeah, each manufacturer is totally different to work with. And so you just have to develop these relationships over years. And, a lot of it's we're the new kids in town, right? We're not Motor Trend, we're not Car and Driver, we're not the freelance journalists they've worked with for the last 10, 15, 20 years. There's this new wave, but we're also not the influencer TikTok new wave. Out of spec's kind of in its own little bubble, if you will, and so it's a little bit hard to. We are certainly in with every automaker now, so we're kind of past this point. But the last few years has been a lot of work. Hey, here's what we did with your car, and here's why we need to drive your cars to test, and here's what our audience says, and here's some our numbers, and they're then eventually we gain notoriety. And it's a long, hard, iterative process to figure out what each automaker is looking for. But at the end of the day, we aren't here to please them. We're just here to borrow their cars to film videos for you guys. And most of them get that. And again, we really have great relationships with pretty much every automaker out there now. I can't think of any that we don't. And when we criticize a car like the BZ4X, well, it's not like we're criticizing it for no reason. It's we have data to back up our opinions. Is it a certain person you deal with? Yeah, I mean, you end up each company has their own team of people, and you figure out, who works best with you. I don't know, some people are just assigned to you, and that's your regional PR contact, and then others are just I don't know, you just kind of become friends with them. And some of it's informal, some of it's very formal. Just depends on your relationship with each automaker. Best way to learn to drive confidently, honestly, rent out a skid pad in your own vehicle and start playing around and, I don't know, play a lot of video games, simulators, definitely do some courses. The problem is most repeatable track, but I find that it's really important to understand the basics of chassis tuning, or just input to output ratio. And so the first thing that comes to mind for a novice driver who's driving to drive quick is if they're turning the wheel and the car is understeering, it's not turning enough, you can instantly tell who's a bad driver, not bad, but inexperienced, because they'll put more steering in to try and get the car to turn more, but that actually causes it to turn less. And a lot of these things can just be kind of felt out on a skid pad or a snow parking lot. to a Model Y, oh, totally different cars, really. I have not driven the i5 yet. Nope. I actually want to ping BMW about that and just be like, hey, you know, let us in on the early stuff. Excited for ID.4? No, not really. It's not my kind of car. I mean, I've already made a film with it, but I'm not excited about it. Like, I don't actually think it'll change anything when it goes on sale in the US. Big ass train on the right. Just goes on forever. Do I think ID Buzz will do well? Absolutely. It's probably going to be expensive, but I don't know that to be true. I guess I'll see it in 2 days. I haven't looked at the numbers on the commercial EVs versus the other stuff, but I would say not as well as the normal consumer grade cars in terms of view count. But a lot of it's more like watch time than it is view count that I'm worried about. Yeah, test the Model Y rear wheel drive. No plans. There's a lot of cars I need to test here first, but if a viewer wants to bring us one here to Colorado, I'd love to test a rear wheel drive Y. Yeah, I'd love to test a Lyric and a Blazer. Just no press cars around, and I gotta find some owners with them. And there's really not any viewers that have taken delivery yet. What spec of ID.4 are you driving? This is the small battery in the US, 62 kilowatt hour gross, rear wheel drive. Pro S is what we call it. Definitely pay up and get a used Grand Touring instead of a new pure Lucid. Absolutely. That's cool. If your customer wants us to review their car, let me know. Does it have a heat pump? I don't believe this car does. Yeah, I see no downside going for a used Grand Touring. Yeah, no ID.4 S's have a heat pump. That's right. not sure the heat pump makes all that much of a difference for like most people in their driving habits. I was looking up some stuff on our e-tron, and I realized our e-tron has a heat pump and a resistive heater, and I was like, whoa, thirsty. Heat pump's important in northern climate winters. Yeah, I mean, for if you're doing a lot of distance, yep. I've heard just as much as you have about the Rivian RS2. Sadly, not much. Gravity is going to be a game changer in this space. What makes you think it will be? Not saying it won't be. I'm just curious, what have you seen to make you feel that it's going to be a game changer? Because electric SUVs are like, and premium electric SUVs are everywhere. Amazon vans do have DC fast charging, yep. Yeah, the charging curve on this is really good. Have a video coming on it soon. Yeah, I like the interior of my Model S. I have no major issues with it. It just feels a little bit Spartan, but that's okay. I just don't like the seats. This is an SK small battery ID.4. I don't believe LG makes the small battery for Chattanooga cars. I've seen about 140 kilowatts today, just under 140. Yeah, VW Travel Assist is awesome. Looks like the live stream's back, but squeezing through some construction zones, so forgive me if I miss some of your questions. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves as we navigate these construction zones. Oh, very cool. More fiber in Colorado. We need it. I have not tried the park assist in the ID.4 yet, no. I totally agree. I need to have a go in the rim mats. Yeah, the new X5 plug-in, hopefully soon. Join me now for our 25% state of charge update. I was wondering why we just slowed down there. Hold on. What is going on? Ah, the ID.4 is trying to go the speed limit on the road? What? I don't think so. You join me now, just cruising along here. We are at 25% state of charge, 146 miles driven, 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour. Fairly efficient, but again, this one being the small battery rear-wheel drive, not much of a surprise here. More efficient than other cars we've tested in similar category. But all is good. We are heading back through the construction zones on our way close to where we started this test. We'll loop around a little bit, and then of course we'll run it out to 0 on the B roads by the charger. We can't get too crazy on the highway just because there's almost no breakdown lanes here. Just too much construction down on this end. Cannot wait for the Wellington charger to get back online so we can really push it down to 0 on the highway. XM already have driven and made videos with XM. But maybe you're talking to a commenter, sorry. I was not into the XM. Way too expensive, not great drivetrain tuning. Just, you look like an idiot driving it around. Yeah, totally. Get an X5M and an M2, or an iX50 and an M2. Yeah, iX and M2 is a great two-car solution. ID.7 pricing, I don't recall. I feel like they told me what it would be priced at, but I can't remember what it was. I mean, why do I do this at night? I drive at night all the time. I prefer the no traffic. Can't do testing when there's traffic. Let's see if our ramp is open. I know they have occasional ramp closures. So let's see what we're looking at. We're about 20% state of charge. Let's hold on tight through here. We're gonna have to rip this corner. We were right next to that piggyback trailer. I didn't trust that guy, but we made it through just fine. Exit where we started. $100,000 used Lucid GT or Porsche Taycan. It just depends on what you're looking for. For me, Taycan, because I like I don't know, I just like the way everything feels in Taycan. I love the charging performance. And Lucid's a way bigger car. I mean, like, they're not really even competitors. I'm not asleep, don't worry. I'm just really paying attention because the road's quite narrow through here. And it's actually hard to kind of see on the phone display what you guys are saying. So unless I'm in like an open area on lane centering, then it's hard for me to respond. But I'm not asleep. We are at 16% state of charge. We've driven 160 miles, and I'm just about to exit here so we can loop back on in the other direction. Because it's hard to find loops on this end of I-25. Way, or was it the next one over? That was kind of a weird double entrance ramp. I think we got the right one. That is a weird on-ramp. See you, Zach. Thanks for tuning in. Oh yeah, the toll lane on I-70 is sketchy. I'm not sure who approved that. Hello from Italy. Nice. Doing well. I'm in Colorado, and forgive me for not responding to all of the questions coming in. Just paying attention to driving through these construction zones when the road gets a little bit tighter. It's hard to focus on the comments. Yep, don't worry, not tired, just focusing on the road. Glancing over when the road opens up. You just get these very odd, very tight sections in these construction zones. The name Out of Spec comes from like people speccing their cars wrong, where you'd see like a really nice BMW X5 with every option but halogen headlights, and we're like, ooh, that's not in spec, it's out of spec. Maybe there was also a little bit of Tesla, you know, claiming poor build quality was in spec. It's amazing how little room we have to work with here. Right, every package but no HK sound or no comfort access, just like weird stuff. And Porsches too had this, and you know, a whole bunch of cars get optioned really weird. We are 169 miles into our journey. Volvo XC40 or Model Y, probably Model Y. Yeah, easy ride tonight for sure. I don't think this thing is going to go 200 miles. I mean, EPA is only 209. Yeah, it's 57 kilowatt hour usable. We are now at 10% state of charge. No warnings yet. Actually, this one just popped up. It says, please charge your vehicle. You can search for a charging station nearby. Cruising along, a little bit of just inching past other cars going roughly the same speed. But 172 miles in so far. I don't think we'll be seeing 200 miles, but how close will it get to 200? That's what we need to find out. Yeah, I think more than 190. Oh yeah, every car's efficiency will drop the higher the speed, especially something the size of the ID.4 with its frontal profile. Going good at 9% state of charge. Getting off the Harmony exit, gonna turn around, head back, final loop towards the charger. Prospect is closed now. Okay, well that's good to know. So I'll take Harmony on the way home. I'm also kind of worried about our exit for the charger being closed. And I drove by there and it was open, but it looked like they might be closing it. So I'm kind of thinking maybe we duck in and exit early, or do we risk it if we got a little bit extra in the tank and just take back roads over to the charger? I don't know. We'll see. Very sharp on-ramp here. Got us on the downhill. I'm gonna just slightly duck back, ever so slightly, just so he doesn't crush us through this corner. There we go. And coming in for the pass now. I'm not sure what they're going to do with this roadway. There's so much potential, and it's really a traffic spot for us these days, and the road's just covered in rocks and construction. It's just like you're guaranteed to break a windshield anytime you drive on this road. Yep, they'll have a toll lane all the way to Denver, which I'm looking forward to. No, I never experienced DC fast charging throttle. We are now at 4% state of charge, just approaching the exit where we first started, and I'm hoping that the ramp is open. I know they have intermittent ramp closures here, but let's see. If we can take the ramp, we'll be good. We'll just run it off on the frontage road that runs, I guess, over to Greeley and then over to Loveland. Sort of a highway you can maintain 70 miles an hour, but no risk of running out in a construction zone like here. So we'll let adaptive cruise control just bring us down to speed behind this car. Again, 4% state of charge. And it is looking like, hopefully, the exit is open. Yes. Yes, very good. So now we'll just run it down to 0 out on these roads. Still doing highway speeds. I'll let you know when we count the 70 mile an hour time. What is this person doing? Let's go. This is like when people from Wyoming see like signs. The sign's not going to take a picture of you. Let's go, buddy. Holy smokes. You probably left last week from Wyoming. Dude's going 30 miles an hour. But that was a clean run tonight. We had a really good range test. Except for this guy. Don't know literally what he's doing. Oh my God. It's called the pedal on the right. Pick a lane. Thank you. What the heck? Terrible driving. Green means go. Back up to 70. Actually be more construction over here. What on earth? We have easily made it off of I-25 and we are now on, again, that little frontage road. We're at 3% state of charge. As soon as we dip closer to 2% state of charge, I'll flip around. But look at how much construction there is going on here. Absolutely an insane amount. Just the world's supply of trucks must be right there. Not sure why, but we're going to keep going. Maybe one or two more traffic lights. We'll flip around, head back, pull into the charger dead. State of charge, buffer. 2% state of charge now. We're going to be making a U-turn here at this light, heading back. We are about 4 miles away from the charging station. One thing to note about ID.4 is there's not much buffer. When it says 0 miles, that pretty much means 0 miles. Maybe you get a couple little feet past 0, but nothing like the BZ4X. So 0 is a true 0. Again, we will probably not be seeing 200 miles, but very close to it. I think a reasonable score, again, considering the EPA range is 209. Let's just gently get it up to speed and nurse this thing back up to highway speed, 60 miles an hour or so. So we'll consider that our highway speed number right there. And now we'll just limp it along over to the charging station. How many freaking trucks do they need for this one little section of road? So far, we've been averaging 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour since we left. Sure what that was. Okay, yep, come on. Come on, everyone's driving 35 and a 50. Let's slow down half a mile in advance. Sounds like a good plan. Oh yeah, gotta be real safe. Go slow, go slow. Don't want to tip that escape over. Oh boy, proper lane etiquette. Did not expect that. Oh, going for the pass. Going for the pass. World's slowest pass ever. loops. We are at 1%, like I mentioned, and just gonna run it all the way pretty much out. We're very close, and again, there's no buffer when it hits 0, very little buffer, so we just kind of need to maintain close proximity to the charging station. That way, if it does just happen to die on us, we don't pull a Michaela. You guys hadn't seen that video. Actually, no, it's to our left. Let's loop around this way and head back, where she ran her ID.4 completely out right in the middle of an intersection in Fort Collins, because she thought, oh, there's got to be a buffer. And nope, there's no buffer. 0 is 0. State of charge, but I don't trust the miles predicted in this car. I think that's kind of a, yeah, there, it just went 321 miles. It's just like, no, you're out. So we are going to flip around at this intersection and head back. 1%, 1 mile of range remaining now. We definitely are going to flip around here at this intersection and head back to the charging station. I don't ever trust really the miles to empty in this car. Sometimes it just goes, you know, like 4, 3, 2, 1. And here we were sitting at 3 miles to empty, and it just blew past 2, and then it's like, oh, actually, you're kind of at the bottom. And so, yep, let's just kind of maintain pace. There we go, battery drain, charged vehicle now, 0% state of charge. We are at the bottom. So let's go 0, 0. There we go. You can see how quickly we're losing mileage. Let's keep the speed up in case we need to momentum it into the charger. So time for full racing line through the roundabouts here. No one's coming, so full send nation. Just got to keep the speeds up in case the car shuts off. But we are at the bottom of the battery pack. And ID.4 does have a buffer in the battery, but it doesn't let the user access it. So it'll just like feel like you have power, and then it goes, oh, no, it's off. Sorry, good luck. Try again another day. Let's bring it on over to the charging station. We should be good, and we'll give you the final number here in just 1 moment. Let's pull up the data. About 3 hours of driving. Let's back it into the charger. Hope it has enough juice to get it in reverse. There we go, we do. And we are in. There we go, 192 miles, 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour, 2 hours, 58 minutes. And there we go, vehicle's now dead. Charge vehicle now. That's it. Perfect timing. How about that? Now it's off. So we freaking did it. Another typical out of spec range test. Let's get this thing charging so we don't damage the battery pack. Freaking awesome. Love to see it. One thing I am thinking is perhaps I'll put the live stream on the charger, and we're going to do another DC fast charging test. I already did a 0 to 100, but the battery was slightly warm when I did it, and now we're certainly much better temperature range. So let's do 0 to 100. Why not? With a little bit, you know, we're about 10 degrees cooler on the battery pack than last time. And yeah, I mean, it only took 50 something minutes, 52 minutes to do it. It was very, very quick. So let me mount you guys here so you can check out the charger. Let me think about the best way to do this would be, sorry for all the crazy camera work here. Just give me 1 second, I'll get you guys locked in. It's all good, thanks Siri. Okay, go here, and we'll go, that's not gonna work. What's gonna be the best way to do this? Maybe we'll do it from inside the trunk lid. Had we thought about that? Hold on. Let's go this way. Yeah, now we're talking. This will work. Great. Okay. So here we go. This, boom, charger's right here. We can all see that pretty well. And, oh, now we can't really see it that well. Do I really need to zoom in? There we go. Now the screen's locked. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right. But the problem is it's reversed. Does it look reversed to you guys? Can you read plug in first, or does it say... Can you tell what it says? It says fine, it's fine. Okay, it just looks reversed on my screen then. Great. So I'll just save the, I'll reference the live stream data for the charging curve test. In we go on the charger. Time for a 02 hundo. Pull up that EA app. Activation. I heard a beep. Maybe it doesn't work. NFC. Electrify America, charger number 2, swipe to start charge. There we go. Very good. Welcome, Kyle. And just to show you this here, state of charge is 5.6%, negative 0.19% user displayed, 366 volts even without charging, very high voltage pack, 25 degrees C on the coldest, 27 on the hottest, so very good temperatures here. We're at 76 kilowatts, 90, 110, 135, 148, fastest I've seen so far, 152, 155. Man, this thing's ripping. Small battery, 157 kilowatts. Oh, way better charging session than the first one. Still sitting at 157, 155. Hell yeah. Dang, the new small battery ID.4 rips on the old big battery one. 158 kilowatt peak there. $161. What the heck? This thing is a freaking machine. Very blurry. Oh no. Well, not sure there's much I can do about that. Sorry. I think it's just gonna have to stay blurry. It's just sitting pegged at 157 right there. $150 now, so 157 again. A little surge. $150 kilowatts at 10% still. Man, 3 minutes, we're already at 11%. I mean, it's not Taycan fast. This is the base small battery car. 7 kilowatt hours, 8 kilowatt hours in 3 minutes. Yeah, I wish it wasn't so blurry. I'm not sure there's anything I can do about that. Sorry. I hope it's clear enough where we can get all this data, because this is what I'm using to data log it. Wow. Yeah, now we're tapering under 150. We're at 145 at 14%. It's a little chilly out here. I'm going to sit in the car and warm up, but you guys enjoy that charging session as it goes. thing is still chugging along, 74 kilowatts at 61%. This is where it's like not that impressive, but it just doesn't die for here. It just holds this all the way to 80 and even slightly beyond. All right, so this is identical to what we've seen before at 70%. So let's, yeah, nothing really new here. So I can match that up with the early test. So we did 52 kilowatt hours in 33 minutes. And then I can basically take both of those charging sessions and make one theoretical maximum. So thank you all for thank you all for tuning in. Really appreciate that. Let's this one does have auto close trunk. Dang, check that out. But there you go. ID.4 small battery freaking rocks. We'll see you on another one soon. Bye-bye.